We're going to start with the nation. Ex-depot price hits 225 naira to the litre as petrol scarcity persists. Governors Gbajabiamila, others with Tinubu in the UK. Lagos is likely to ride on blue light rail before Christmas. That's good news. Adeleke certificates, my life under threat, says PDP chieftain. 500 doctors left in 2 years, says Medical Council. Lovers bury newborn alive. Grandma expectant mom held for drugs. And how to curtail rising death profile by DMO. Okay, which story are we starting with?
The good news. So the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu may give Lagosians an unexpected Christmas gift. So they said he may launch the rail system within weeks, though this is coming 11 years behind schedule. Now, they said the Blue Line is currently undergoing a test run to certify if it's ready for commercial operation. We know that work began on the Blue Line in 2006 as a World Bank assisted project, and it was inherited by Governor Babatunde Fashola, who took it to about 80% before he left office in 2015. But because of the paucity of funds, it was not, the last administration was not able to continue. And so it was inherited back again by Sanwo-Olu's administration in 2001. And luckily, before the end of 2021, before the end of this year, we'll have it running. So they mentioned, they said it will run exclusively on a dedicated independent power plant, which will also help the state to, commit to cleaner energy and a sustainable development. Now, they said all the train stations at Mile 2, Relay, Alaba, National Theatre, and Marina were nearly ready for us to use. So hopefully we'll see that happen in December.
I've seen their testing. I love it when I see it.
Nice.
Yes, I have the story of the lovers who buried newborn. So a 30-year-old woman, Balaraba Shehu, and a 25-year-old man, her lover, Amadu Sale, alias Dan Kwairo, certainly involved in an immoral relationship. They had a pregnancy and a newborn that they dumped in the latrine somewhere and buried the baby. The police spokesman in Jigawa said that they rescued the baby from the toilet where it was buried, the latrine, and the baby was declared dead by a medical officer at the time they rushed the baby to the hospital. They have since arrested the man, and the matter is under further investigation. It's just sad that, in this time that some people are losing sleep, crying in their saddest times and spending a lot of money trying to have babies of their own. Some people are burying theirs.
All right, so the standard bearer for the APC presidential ticket will be in the UK today to speak at Chatham House. He's there accompanied by Governor Kaduna State, Governor El Rufai, and the Governor of Jigawa State, and also the former Governor of Ekiti State, Kayode Fayemi, all there with him. And he'll be speaking on the foreign policy, the United Kingdom's elite foreign and policy think tank institutions. If you recall, he was there back in 2011 to speak also, and then for on the topic on the opposition, of the rise of the opposition of Nigerian politics back in 2011. And he'll be speaking there also this time around to tell them of his plans, on security, economic development for Nigeria, and how we can improve our exports to bring in more revenue for the country. So I think that should be about maybe 1 or 2 p.m. today. We'll see that conversation.
So I want to take the story of NDLEA in their ongoing effort to reduce prevalence of drum consumption. The carried out operation, and the spokesman for the NDLEA, Femi Babafemi, spoke about the 60-year-old woman and a pregnant woman that was caught with drugs. The 60-year-old woman had drugs were sent to her, and it was packaged into a speaker. So she got 2 giant speakers, and inside the speaker they found 5.5 kilograms of loud variant of cannabis. And she said that this came from South Africa. Her daughter sent it. She said her daughter sent it to her, but she's been arrested. She's 60-year-old. And then there's a pregnant woman, an expectant mother, who was also caught with drugs. Then there's another man in Abuja, Ibrahim Momo. He's known as Ibrahim Bendel. He escaped from prison, maybe during the raid, and he was found back in his trade, trading 61 jumbo bags of cannabis in Abuja. River State also, there are reports of several cases, and I'm always just happy taking this story, but it's to serve as warning for anyone who is being contacted and lobbied to carry drugs not to do it. You might see others escape, but they are catching people on a daily basis, and you don't want to be one of those caught. So desist and stop doing it.
All right, moving on to Punch. Bauchi Gombe fight over the new oil wells. When you see the money, gotta be fight. Buhari seeks improved security in ECOWAS region. Police Arepo Estate accused of plotting murder suspects release. FG unveils new curriculum for varsities today. Zenith wins Bank of the Year award. Marketers resort to private depots shortage hits NNPC. Atiku Obi Kokonso lock horns at the town hall meeting. Nigeria's telecom subscribers hit 214 million, and poor network INEC to meet NCC telcos on Tuesday. Okay, let me start with the major headlines. So Bauchi and Gombe are going at each other because of the newly discovered oil well. According to them, they're laying claims to the Kolmani oil and gas field, which both states are laying claim to. Now, Gombe is saying that he's insisting that the special advisor, no, actually, he's insisting that this contention is caused by the Boundary Commission for this controversy. They're the ones that have caused this controversy because they've not been able to properly demarcate, and they're hypocrites, according to him. He says NNPC and this National Boundary Commission are hypocrites, and they know the truth, and they refuse to state it. Bauchi, on the other hand, is saying that this issue is not for they're insisting that the area that this oil was discovered was actually situated in Bauchi State, not Gombe State, and that the chairman of the so there's a lot of back and forth.
Please, is this oil not owned by Nigeria?
It's owned by Nigerians, but we have to know who's going to get the 13% derivative eventually. So they have to be over a billion barrels worth of oil. That attracted already $3 billion investment so far. So this is not small money we're talking about.
Okay, let me use oil to follow the story. So according to the Imam boss, quickly, let me get his name. He says that federal government have been doing us like this. In a statement by the Ogun State chairman of Imam, Mosimi Depot, he says that he called out the NNPC and the federal government that they've not had petrol at their federal government-owned depots. The one in Ogun State has been empty. He says that even though those depots, prior in the year, they were getting petrol from them at 148 per litre, but now they are all not serving anybody, and that explains the crisis and traffic I have to bear every day, that they have been resorting to the private depots in Lagos, obviously at Ijegun, to lift petrol at 215 to 220 naira per litre from those depots. So you can imagine when he gets to the petrol station, he will then be selling for 245 to 250 per litre. And that's what they've been going through. He issued this in a letter. And, the costs continue to vary across states. By the time they are traveling with the product, continue to vary across states in the report. So I don't know what NNPC is saying. They can't keep telling us they have sufficient supply, and Imam is saying otherwise. And we too, we are seeing otherwise. Who is deceiving who?
Still reviewing Punch. Yes, you see how the story?
Yes. So the police and the leadership of Havana Estate, Arepo, Ogun State, have been accused of plotting to bury a case involving a woman identified as a Motayo, who allegedly poured chemical on a 70-year-old painter, Emmanuel Agbeli, which led to his death. So according to the story, they said both of them have been in disagreements for a long time. And two of them attend the same church. One is the English department and another is in the Yoruba department. And so this particular day, Omotayo, no, that's the first guy. I want to get his name now. Emmanuel was praying in his room when Omotayo walked in and poured a chemical on him. So he just realized that he was feeling somehow, and then he went out to report to one of their neighbors and a security officer. On his way back to his room, he slumped and died. So the case has been taken to the police station. The Mrs. Omotayo has been arrested, and they are saying that there's a plot to, hide, just do away with the case, because the victim's wife, the deceased wife, is poor. She sells in Aribo market, so she's not able to afford a lawyer to, continue the case. But she's saying that though they are, putting pressure on her to withdraw the case out of the police station, but she says she wants that lady to be in the police custody for at least 6 months. Now she doesn't have money to fight the matter. The chairman of the estate has been doing somehow. He's not really forthcoming in explaining, because he's actually sending somebody who is big in that estate to release the woman in question. So this woman feels like she needs justice, and the government should do something about it.
It's so sad. INEC is in talks with NCC, that's the Nigerian Communication Commission. And the conversation came from the INEC chairman, Mahmoud Yakubu, who said that the plan is to transmit the elections directly from the 176,846 polling units across the country. And they are thinking that we don't have enough connections in all those areas for it to be seamless, but that there are some blind spots along the areas. They've had success in transmitting directly in the 105 by-elections that has been conducted since 2020 without any issues with this platform. But they are having a conversation to see how every of those, they're doing their test running transmission right now, so that they are sure by election time, every polling unit can transmit their results directly to a central server. And I'm looking forward to very safe elections. So NCC should work with INEC to ensure that this happens for us.
Okay, so let's move on to Daily Sun. Atiku attacks Tinubu over foreign trip. Presidency, why we haven't endorsed any candidate, says Igbo town unions. Atiku endorsements, Dogara seeking irrelevance, says Afegbua. Don't use religion to divide Nigeria. National Mosque Imams cautions politicians. Support efforts to end AIDS. Presidency charges Nigerians. And 2023 presidential debate, Atiku Kokoso Obi lock horns. Let me take the major headlines. So the presidential candidate of the PDP spokesperson, Mr. Kola Ologbodiyan, was saying that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu had gone to the UK to evade critical public scrutiny. And this was referring to the town hall meeting that was organized by Arise TV News. Says that it was an intentional way to dodge public scrutiny. However, the campaign of the APC, somebody from the Directorate of Strategic Communications of the APC campaign, that's Mr. Timitokwe Ajayi, said that it was very clear that they had actually put scheduled in plan before Arise came up with this town hall meeting. They had a plan to be at Chatham House this weekend. He said that is a long scheduled international event, and they're going to be speaking with global audience on the plans for economy and security and what his foreign policy would look like. He said that the other second reason why they would not attend that town hall meeting specifically is because they believe that Arise is an impartial, and they don't consider Arise News as a credible and impartial platform for debate, as they've stated before by their spokesperson, Mr. Bayo Ononuga, on Saturday. So they're reiterating the fact that they will not go on Arise, which is their prerogative.
So the Imam of the National Mosque was speaking at the National Mosque Abuja was speaking at the National Interreligious Conference organized by the Kano State government, and he raised an observation about how politicians have continued to divide the country along religious lines, and he said particularly Christianity and Islam. He says that they should be cautioned against using, religion to divide the country. He said most of them will anyway be rigging their way in the upcoming elections by hook or by crook, but some of these politicians, according to him, unfortunately, from the two religions, are using this religion to emphasize our differences, causing disagreement, violence, and fights among Nigerians. This has already begun to happen during this campaign in many places. Let me say that one will be standing on a highly dented ground if he used religion in this manner at the expense of his own country. He went on to talk about how beautiful this country is, how blessed the country is. He said that Almighty Allah has graciously granted us this country and granted us unlimited bounties in this country. This country, we should focus on the development of this country to get it to be at par with other countries that are developed, rather than continue to divide the country along religious lines. And he says that both religions also preach tolerance and peace and peaceful coexistence, and that is what should be highlighted more during this time.
Before you quickly move, this Association of Southeast Town Unions saying that they will not interfere in the politics, but they will allow Nigerians to make informed choice on which of the presidential candidate they will be voting for, which is devoid of tribal and cheap considerations. And then they will now go ahead and announce their preferred candidate. So they were impressed with how the youths have become politically aware in this coming 2023 elections, and they are appealing and asking that youth should come out en masse from different professions, artisans, you know, just come out and show support as well as get their PVCs, because if anything goes wrong in this 2023 elections, it's going to still fall back on the young people of Nigeria.
So I want to take the story of NRC. So the Nigerian Railway Corporation has changed the prices of train transport from Lagos to Ibadan, Lagos to Abeokuta, and the commuters and passengers were complaining about how they were not pre-informed about this, even though the NRC released an internal circular saying they were going to increase the fares. So traveling from Lagos to Ibadan is now 9,000 for the 24-seater, from what used to be 6,500. You know, what used to be 6,500 is now, what used to be 5,000 is now 6,500. What used to be 2,500 is now 3,600. For those going from Lagos to Abeokuta, what used to be 2,500 is now 3,000. What used to be 3,450. The prices have changed, even all the way to from Uromi to Itakpe and all across the nation. There's been changes in price, and commuters are complaining that they feel it is baseless and it is an undue hardship on them at this moment, just before the festive season.
Vanguard Health Nigeria needs 12,000 doctors annually, says MDCN, Medical Doctors Association of Nigeria. Security education key to poverty reduction. Atiku sets up committee to meet G5 Wike group. All gas can't feed Nigeria's growing population, says Obasanjo. NDPHC, vandals destroy 6 transmission towers, kills 1 in Rivers. 2023, Obi Dati, NNPP, ADP, flayed Dogara over group's adoption of Atiku. How we spent 13% all derivation refund in Ondo, says Akeredolu. And Zenith Bank wins Bank of the Year, Nigeria in Bankers Award 2022. Okay.
Okay, the doctor's major headline. The president of the medical doctors, medical and dental, what's the breakdown again? MD CAM. Dr. Victor Makojola was speaking, and he said that Nigeria needs an estimated 12,000 doctors annually, and that he would take, the NMA then added that it would take 25 years to meet the 333,000 doctors that we need, so, which is the ideal target to address the health needs of the country. He said that this is based on the WHO's, of 600 persons to 1 doctor analysis, that the ratio that was given, and that with the present exodus of our doctors leaving, it will take a while for us to make it up again. It's just sad, that there was a time when Nigeria thought this was a problem, and then they subsidized the education of doctors. They made sure that we're really now qualified health personnel, practitioners, only for them to take 1 step forward and take like 3 backwards by making it tough for them to practice here and unrewarding or motivating. And then you had our doctors leaving. So we're training for other economies while we're still in need of what we train to fill. It's just painful.
Can I take the river story? So Abuja Niger Delta Power Holding Company has complained that vandals have vandalized they've killed 1 and destroyed 6 transmission towers. These are the transmission towers that bring power from the Afam to One in Rivers State, and one of the vigilantes died. They killed 1 person in the destruction. Though Vanguard is saying that it didn't really affect the production, but these are facilities that cost money to put in place, and Nigerians are vandalizing the facilities, stealing properties, and will be costing more money, bringing hardship to the people that are supposed to be supplied by power in those areas. Let's help ourselves.
Yeah, so quickly, former President Olusegun Obasanjo, it's a very short story, has declared that the growing population of the country, which is the oil and gas sector, can no longer feed the growing population of our country. And he was, advising that we need to pay more attention into farming and agriculture. Basically, that's how we can be able to feed our nation. So he said this while he was visited by the cultural Apex Sociocultural Group in Tivland, Benue State. They came to pay him a visit, and then he had a conversation.